Okay, here we are again for our next grammar lesson, lesson 3. Okay, we're going to go over common and proper nouns, capitalization, punctuation of proper nouns. There's a list of rules here. Most likely you know these already. If you don't, if you feel like you need to write them down, just do that. So here's some. A common noun is a name common to many persons, places, things, or ideas. A proper noun is the special, particular name for a person, place, thing, or idea. Proper nouns always begin with capital letters. And here's your capitalization rules. Capitalize the proper names of persons, places, things, or animals. Okay, so like right here, boy is a common noun. It could name any boy, but Peter is a proper noun because it names a particular one. Store is a common noun, but Baskin Robbins is a proper noun. Book is a common noun, but Little Women is a proper noun. See what I'm saying? Okay. Look at C, Sea of Galilee. Both of those, important parts of those. Here's a Port of Los Angeles. See these little tiny words like of, and the? Those are never uppercase. Isle of Skye. Okay. Names of holidays. You always, if it has two parts to it, like Memorial Day, you'd do both. Independence Day, you'd do both. All right. Names of deities. All right. Now, these are, obviously, you can't tell that this is a Christian curriculum. This is just secular, but, these are ancient deities. And, of course, you're supposed to uppercase those. Of course, we know that God, all the names that we use for God, any name that we would use to talk about His stuff. Even when I'm writing down something in my journal and I say something about His Spirit or His gifts or whatever, I always use His as a pronoun. And if I use that pronoun speaking of God, I even uppercase that. All right. Days of the week, months of the year are always uppercased. The seasons are not uppercased. You do not capitalize those. I don't know why. It's just the rule. All right. Capitalize the first, last, and other important words in titles of books, magazines, newspapers, movies, television series, stories, poems, and songs. Like a book, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. See, the main words are capitalized, but the little words are not. National Geographic, that's a magazine. The newspaper, the Chicago Tribune. Now, the reason the is because it's the first word. So the first and the last word, no matter what they are, like on this one, a movie, a river runs through it. Look, it starts and ends with those little insignificant words, but because it's at the first and the last, you have to uppercase it. But if it's in the middle, these little tiny words, the, it, in, if, of, whatever, then you don't. Okay? And here's some more things here. Television series. Now this didn't have... Yeah, okay. This didn't tell us. But a TV series, and you see this is topped with... what do you call that? Oh my gosh, I can't think of the word of it. What do you call that? Well, you see how it's italics. Okay, and then a television show, a story, a poem, a song, a chapter in a book. You see how they're uppercase. Of and the are not, to and the are not, of and the, because they're in the middle. But notice how they have quotations marks around them. Okay, the name of the book would just be italics if you're typing, but if you're writing it, you would underline it. We'll do that later, but anytime you see something that's written in italics and it's a title, then it actually, if you hand write it, you would underline it, because you can't write in italics when you hand write, but you can on a computer. So if you do it on a computer, you can do it italics. If you do it in handwriting, you would underline it. Capitalize and italicize the names of ships, trains, and planes. There you are. Okay. All right, here's your first exercise. Capitalizing proper nouns. Write a proper noun for each of the following common nouns. Don't forget to capitalize all of the important words of the proper noun. Underline the names of the book and movie you choose to show that those names should be in italics if they were typed. That's what I was telling you. So if it's something that should be italicized if you were typing it, then since you can't italicize in handwriting, you would underline. So here's a common noun, friend. So write a proper noun. You could write whoever your friend is. Now you can make up a name, it doesn't matter, just you would uppercase it. And then write some here. If you don't remember the rule, go back up here and look because it shows you. Remember, if it shows that it's italicized, you'll underline it. Okay? All right, exercise 3B. Oh yeah, and I'm going to take a picture of this. I think I know what this does. I think it takes a picture and puts it on my computer. I think is what it does. And so, which means I can put that then on the Google Classroom. Might make it a little easier than going through the entire book. 3B. On your own paper, rewrite the following sentences properly. Capitalize and punctuate all names and titles correctly. If you are using a word processing program, in other words, if you're doing it on a computer, italicize where needed. If you're writing by hand, underline in order to show italics. So this right here, rewrite that using all of these rules up here that we just went over. Okay? And then 3. In the following sentences from The Story of the World, Volume 3 by Susan Wise Bower, indicate which proper nouns should be capitalized by underlining the first letter of the noun 3 times. This is the proper proofreader mark for capitalize. The first word in the first sentence is done for you. In other words, right here. Okay? And you do not have to rewrite this on your paper. You can just simply, on your paper, where you put 3C, you can just write the letter and put 3 lines under it. It's hard to see, but that is 3 lines under it. Anytime you come to a letter that should be uppercased, you always put 3 lines under that letter. That indicates, that's kind of a convention of capitalization. Everybody knows when you see 3 little lines under a letter, it means to uppercase that letter, to capitalize it. Okay? So that's what you'll do. Now you can rewrite this if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just put the letters. Make sure you underline them 3 times. You want to get in the habit of doing that. Just the letter or the word, doesn't matter. Okay? All right, so I'm going to take a picture of this here. All right, that should be easy enough.